Welcome to the very first episode of Pure Rhodes Profiles. My name is David, and this is a series where we sit down with the people behind disc golf. Not just the scores, not just the rounds, but the stories, the mindset, and the journey. Disc golf has a way of shaping people, and this series is about those people. And I'm really excited to start this series with today's guest, James. Thanks for being here. So,
Happy to. Thanks for having me. It's great.
Oh, yeah. So, James, for people watching who might not know you yet, can you introduce yourself and tell us who you are and your connection to disc golf?
Certainly. My name is James Snyder. I'm the National Sales Director for Great Lakes Disc. And yeah, that's what I do for a living. It's kind of fun. I work in disc golf professionally.
So, you say National Sales Director at Great Lakes Disc. And I've got to ask, I've seen, you were a hoodie model yesterday on their website and their social media.
Yep.
What all does National Sales Director entail?
Man, that's a great question. I hope we have a lot of time. So, before this, I worked in high end sales. I sold items, cars specifically, for a long time, and that turned into a sales training position. So I taught people how to sell items pretty much across the board. Kind of a fun thing there. When Shay and I talked about this job, it was kind of started as a joke. We've known each other for 10, 11, 12 years now. And we said I was going to come in and fix some of the e-commerce, try to come up with new strategies to sell plastic in the store. I have since turned into an assistant tournament director. I create all the graphics. I post all the internet information. I design all the jerseys and clothing. So I am now a pseudo graphic designer. I don't like to use the term because I'm not professional by any means, but it's just one of those things that I've been thrown into over the last 2 years. And I've come to really, really, really enjoy it. It's been really fun. Hearing my friends compliment some of the designs that I have is pretty cool. So I still focus on the sales. I still focus on coming up with unique ways to increase revenue for the store. By increasing revenue, we can obviously help the community more, which is our main goal. That's what Shay started the store for. And it's kind of just blossomed into what it is. So it's a long list of things. I'd go on forever if I went over all of them.
So basically, a man with many hats, and yeah, perfect. So, where are you from originally?
I am actually from the Grand Rapids area the whole time. So I grew up in Byron Center, Michigan, which is just outside Grand Rapids. I went to Grandville High School, which is the other side of Grand Rapids. And I currently reside in that Byron Center, Cutlerville, Grand Rapids area still. So just been local the whole time.
There you go. So, what would you consider your home course?
Man, I live conveniently located directly between JC Park and Brewer Park. I'm like 5 minutes one way, 6 minutes the other. I would have to say Brewer because that's the course that I played first and grew up on. But now I play JC more, but I'd still say Brewer Park.
Okay. And how long have you been playing now?
I started in 2007, technically speaking. I learned the sport or learned about the sport in my physical education class from a buddy of mine, Joe Schwartz. He taught us what it was back in our senior year, I believe it was, gym class. And he brought in some disc golf discs, and we went up to the soccer field to go play with them. I played ultimate frisbee, as a lot of the transition players do. I thought I was going to be really good at it. I threw that first disc golf disc, and it went so far to the left. I can't even explain it to you. The thing hyzered like crazy, and I was kind of hooked from there, just trying to figure out how to make it happen. So 2007 is when I picked up my first disc. I bought a disc that day, actually, right off the internet, had it shipped to me, and have been playing ever since. But 2010, I think, is when I got my number.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So, what was it that hooked it? That made the hook, hook? What about disc golf hooked you?
I think it was that competitive nature that I just have. I've always been competitive, and I didn't really want to compete against other players per se right away. I wanted to compete against the sport itself. I found the challenge of just throwing the disc to be really exciting to me. I've always liked golf. I played ball golf my whole life, or regular golf, whatever you want to call it. And being able to kind of fight against the course or fight against the disc and figure out how to get things to fly is really fun. I think all of us guys really like to throw things first off, and then they're colorful and they make noise when you hit the basket. So it all just kind of comes together, and we're able to do something that we really like there. So I think it was just that fight against me versus the disc versus the course. It's been really fun the whole time. I still have that same passion now, 15, 16 years later, whatever it's been.
Of course, they also make really interesting noises too when they hit trees too. But we try not to talk about that part of the game. So
I would know about that. I do that
yeah,
often.
yeah.
Yep.
So what made you want to keep playing?
I took a little hiatus in the middle of my disc golf career, just when I transitioned into selling cars more professionally or training more professionally. It just was hard to do both. Being able to come back to the sport now, I still have all my friends from back when I first started. Now it's kind of one of those things where I do want to be competitive against my buddies. We're getting up there in age. We're all in our 30s, some of us even in our 40s, a couple guys in their 20s still. Lucky for them. But we go out there and we play league together 3, 4, 5 times a week. We play tournaments almost every weekend. I was blessed enough to play 30 events last year. And so just that pursuit of meeting new people, having fun, engaging in the community, and then obviously competing against your buddies. That's what you want to do.
Was there a moment where it became more serious for you?
Yeah, 2016, 17, I would say. I was able to get a amateur sponsorship before they were really even a thing with DGA Disc Golf, thanks to a couple buddies of mine. They took care of me with getting some references in and allowing me to get that opportunity to become a sponsored athlete. I know it sounds weird as an amateur, but I would say right around there. I played the most events leading up to my career in that 2017 year. So 2017-18, I was sponsored, but that was before this past year. Now this past year, it was my most events played by a pretty hefty margin.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, do you have any other family members that play or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. My little brother Jesse, he plays. We have another brother in there too, a middle brother. He plays a little bit, not as much as Jess and I, but yeah, Jesse is. He definitely plays disc golf. He plays just as much as I do. We compete very, very often. It's a unique dynamic if you follow us online. It's very fun, very fun.
I was gonna say March 28th. You have a big brother battle coming up, part 3. You want to talk about that a little
Yeah,
bit? Tell people about that. Maybe plug the
sure.
tournament a little bit too. Kind of little little self promotion for the tournament here. So go for it.
Yeah, so a month from now, you said March 28th. I'll take your
Yep.
word on it. I
Yep.
think that's the date. We are playing the spring session at Sessions Lake. That's a park at Ionia County Park or Ionia State Park. I forget what it is. That is a 24-hole course. We play that event to kind of kick off our year every single year. It just has more holes too, which is really fun. We have something that we call the Brother Battle, and this is going to be the 3rd year. The first year that I came back, I was 2 weeks into the sport after a 7-year break or a 6-year break. Jesse beat me up pretty good. Last year, I was able to kind of come back. I got off to a really hot start in the first round. Had just a huge gap on him. He did go 4 for 4 on the first 4 holes, though, birdies. The second round, and he threw an ace directly with me standing next to the basket. So he may try to make that push comeback, but I was able to get him last year. So we're having the Brother Battle 3.0. It's a rivalry week, as we call it. It's something we've done for the past 3 years. We're starting to see other friends challenge their buddies to come play that event too. So if you guys are listening and you have an ability to come play that tournament, spring sessions at Sessions Lake, ran by Great Lakes Disc. Come check it out. It's 48-hole tournament, like we said, 2 rounds of 24. It's an absolute blast. Super tight fairways, and it's always a challenge. So that'd be a fun one to come check out.
Sounds like it's gonna be fun. I'm actually playing in it. It's gonna be my first single tournament of the year, so looking forward
Let's
to it.
go.
So
Let's
uh,
go.
we'll have a doubles tournament under my belt before that, so that's gonna be cool. So at least
That'll help.
well knock some of the rust off before that tournament. So
That's
that'll be
fair.
good. So
That's fair.
so who influenced your game early on?
A gentleman called John Perry. I don't know if you're familiar with JP or not. All the old school Michigan disc golfers will know John. John was one of the first 1,000 rated golfers in Michigan that I can recall. For whatever reason, we met in a really weird way. I found a disc on the course at JC. I carried it around in my bag for a couple of days. I didn't really know anybody. I was still out there playing by myself. I found this group of golfers who seemed to be pretty good at what they were doing. And I walked past him. I said, "Hey, do you guys know anybody that's this JP fella?" And he said, "Yeah, that's me." And I said, "No way, it's not you." And he goes, "Yeah, look, you can see my other discs." And that was my start to the relationship with John. We've hung out for years past that. He kind of mentored me, allowed me to hang out with him and all of his pro buddies. Just I was the am that was just kind of tagging along. And It was really fun to do. So shout out to John Perry, man. I know he's still out there. We haven't played together this year yet, but he was a massive influence in the game. Great guy.
Cool. I'll have to keep my eyes out and see if I see him around on the tournament sometime. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, yeah.
That would be really
So,
cool. That'd be really
yeah.
cool.
So what's been one of the biggest challenges in your disc golf journey?
Aside from a lack of talent, distance. I just don't have a ton of distance. That's all it is. I just don't throw very far. I was a bowler. Well, I still am a bowler, technically speaking, a competitive bowler since I was 3 years old. We focus on being really smooth and consistent and just a lot of a slower pace, if you will. And that's kind of transferred over into my disc golf game, which is a blessing and a curse. I have an ability to repeat shots, but I don't have a ton of power just with how smooth the throw is. So I would like to work on that. That's the goal for 2026. One of my colleagues, Carl, and I, are coming up with a strategy to kind of work that out. And it's going to be a long, tough road, but we'll work through it.
Sounds good. Well, I'll take a quick second here and kind of do a little plug for my sponsor for this. I want to pause here and thank Great Lakes Disc for supporting me and Pure Rhodes Disc Golf and helping make this series possible. If you're looking for disc or gear, check out the affiliate link in the description below. It helps support me and the channel, and I really appreciate it. And a new thing that they just added, guys, they had their first one last night. They are now on Whatnot. It was fun. I was part of it. I was lucky enough to get myself a nice, beautiful trail. So I'm looking forward to getting that in my hands. But check it out. Check them out on Whatnot. Check out their site. They're just everywhere. Just do it. Do it. Just do it. That's all I can say. Just do it. Great store. Great people. I mean, go see James in person. Go check out Shay. Go check out Carl. All the gang. They can help you with anything. You give them enough information, they'll help you out. So
I agree. Stop by Great Lakes Disc.
Yeah.
I agree with that. GreatLakesDisc.com.
Yeah, it's awesome. So how would you describe your play style?
I think we just kind of talked about that. Smooth is probably the word that I would use. I hear that often from players. The first time I shoot with players, they generally say, man, that was really smooth. I think they mean that as a compliment. I kind of take it as a knock. I think smooth means I don't throw far. But I hear it all the time. Man, that was really smooth. And I'm like, yeah, the disc went like 310 feet. That's obviously what was smooth. But I would go with smooth. It's very, very rhythmic. It's kind of a cool shot.
Good. So what part of your game do you trust the most right now?
I am naturally blessed to be a decent putter. I do put in a ton of work on it too. I have a few practice baskets right outside. But I have always just been able to, I guess, minimize my miss, as I say. My margin of error is very small when it comes to putting, so it's just something that I've always relied on. I think it's because I putt from 35 feet so often, the AM3 life. But I've been able just to kind of hone in on that, and it's saved me quite a bit.
Perfect. And so what's something you're still working on?
Distance, like we talked about, just trying to get into a power grip on a driver. I throw fan grip right now. It's kind of a detriment. I throw with my elbow tucked in instead of driving with my elbow. Like I said, we know the science behind it. We picked it all apart. We just have to actually work on that. I'm hoping to get out to 400 feet at some point this year. I was pretty close at the end of last year with the Fission Trail coming out. The Fission Trail helped a ton. Picked up an extra 50, 60 feet for me just by switching to that disc alone. But the pursuit of 400 is going to be a real thing this year, and I'm just going to keep working on it until we do it.
There you go. So when things go wrong in a round, how do you handle that mentally?
Sure. Disc golf is meant to be fun. We're going to make mistakes. When you play the number of events that I played 75 or 80 league rounds last year. I played 30 tournaments or events. You're going to have bad rounds. They're going to happen. Knowing that I'm out there still getting to do things that I like to do at 37 years old, and I get to play disc golf every single day and I get paid to do it, that's kind of a mindset. I've, again, been blessed just to be in a competitive kind of mindset my whole life with sports. So I know the good's going to come with the bad. I think having a bad round just means that you have an opportunity to fix something, and being able to pinpoint what went wrong and coming up with a strategy to make that better is key.
Good. So what does life look like for you outside of disc golf?
I don't necessarily have a life outside of disc golf because I work in it professionally. That's not true. I have a lovely girlfriend. Her name is Sally. We've been together for 5, 6 years, whatever it's been now. And anytime that I'm not playing the sport, we try to hang out, just have a good time. We both like just being outside also, which is kind of nice. And that's where I spend the vast majority of my time hanging out with her.
Have you ever had her caddy for you or anything like that?
I did actually. So last year she came with Shay and I out to the Landwell Open out in that Flint area, and I was blessed enough to win that event. So she did caddy for my first event back also for the record. So she saw the complete opposite. But that was the first event that she's caddied for me since I've been playing again, and I was able to win that one, and I like to blame her for that. So
There you
she
go.
likes to blame herself for that too.
There
But
you go. Good luck
I made
trying
a
to
lot
win.
of putts that day. Made a
Yeah.
lot of putts that day.
Yeah. So how do you balance disc golf with everything else? You already talked about it a little bit, but kind of a little more there. What do you? How do you? What's?
Yeah, I can kind of elaborate on the job side comparatively to the playing side.
Yeah.
So the job side takes up a lot of our time. We do host 30, 40 events a year, plus we sponsor 180 players across the country, plus we sponsor another 200 some events, and we have the store, and we have the website, and we have the whatnot now. We design and build courses on top of all that also. That is a very strong, like 9 to 5, we'll call it. I still have time to go out and play. We focus on that at the shop where, we're lucky to be in the positions that we're in. So we still want to make sure that we keep it fun for ourselves to keep our eye on the prize, if you will. So Shay allows the schedule to be pretty flexible where I can get out and play some leagues and interact with buddies and interact with the community. Obviously, as a sales director of the store, I want to be out there in the public interacting with our friends. So that's a benefit. And we try to split weekends off as much as we can to make sure that, one or two of us can be out at the disc golf tournaments as well and still have some fun. So there was obviously no shortage of playing last year. I got to play a billion different events. I do work during them. I'm still an assistant TD in some regard, but it's just part of balancing it all out. We find a pretty good rhythm so far.
There you go. So has disc golf taught you anything about yourself?
Minimal people angry at a disc golf course that weren't taking it that seriously. So just remember to keep life fun. And like I said, this is really not that deep. It's not that hard to do.
Good. Good. Kind of a oddball question here, but I'm going to spit it out for
Sure.
you. So do you think you guys as a store would ever think of expanding, maybe having like opening another branch anywhere, or do you think you're going to just keep it local in Grand Rapids?
That's a really good question. I'm going to give you a pretty PR answer. We've talked about it. We don't have any plans to do it right now. It has been discussed. We considered the idea multiple times, as late as last week, as early as the last 2 years. There is something to be said about, potentially bringing ourselves to a different area as well. It's just an extraordinary cost to do that, and we'd have to rebuild that market. Grand Rapids has treated us so well. We're so thankful for the community here. We have the ability to build that in other places. It just takes so much time and effort to do it. I'm not saying we're not willing to do it. I'm just saying that as of right now, it's not currently in the
Okay.
picture, but it has been discussed.
Oh, good answer. I was just wondering. Since I've started, I've kind of, and now especially since I'm you guys are sponsoring me as a
Yeah.
player, I've been thinking, one thing that our little town here, Big Rapids, doesn't have, we don't really have a disc golf store. You have to go to you guys to the south, or I mean, if you wanted to go elsewhere, you're looking another hour to the west. So,
Sure.
and I've asked around to a few of the guys. I mean, we have somewhat of a community. I mean, some of the guys. Well, Carl's from
Yeah.
the area. Carl still has connections, Big Rapids. So, I've asked around. Just was kind of curious, wondering. So that's good to know. Good to know. Maybe down the road
Yeah.
someday.
It
So
would be it would be a satellite store if anything. We wouldn't have another full 30,000
right,
disc
right,
store. There's
yeah.
just so much inventory
Oh
to
yeah,
have. But
you'd have to
it's
just
been
have a
discussed for sure.
yeah, yeah. So, and hey, we got connections. We got a city commissioner that hey, we got that
I
covered.
know
So
that guy. I
yeah,
know
you might
that
know that
guy.
guy. So, what's one disc you trust the most?
The disc I trust the most is tied between a Crave and a Detour, both by MVP Axiom. I'm going to say I trust the Detour the most for right now. It's a 5-speed, pretty flat flyer for me. I know it's flippy for other people, but it's something that I can just throw flat. I throw it to the distance that I know I'm going to be able to throw it right to the number, and that's a very comforting feeling.
That's good. That's good. So, and is there one disc you'd recommend to newer players?
Yes, the DGA Vortex. I offer it to almost every single new player that comes through the store. It's great for slower arm speeds, newer throwers, older throwers, people struggling with distance. It's essentially cheater distance. The disc glides forever. It has really reliable fade on it. It's super easy to throw. I've bagged one since the day it came out. We were just able to have a deal with Andrew Marweed, who we sponsor, one of the pros, the number one putter in the world for the past 4 years. He came to us and said that he had a disc coming out, and he trusted us to switch that disc to the Vortex and create some custom art for him. And we were able to get the first ever glow Vortex to the market. There technically was one before this, but this is the first one that's in retail. It's exclusive to us, and it has been an absolute gem. I just took out my original one and put his back in my bag because you can just rip on these things. I say rip on them. Obviously, I still throw slow, but they glide for absolutely forever. It's free distance. If you're struggling to throw a driver, stop trying to throw the 11s and 12s. Throw this 7-speed DGA Vortex. It'll go for days. You'll thank me later.
That's awesome. So, what do you love most about disc golf?
I'm going to say the community. And I mean that in two different ways. I mean that from the store side, and I mean that from the personal side. All the friends that I have right now are still buddies that I met 10 years ago playing this sport. We've been together now, like I said, even through the hiatuses and the kids and the marriages and the moves and everything else, we find a way to get together and play the sport as much as we can. It's something that I think is really cool. I've traveled to different areas, obviously, for the job, and if I want to go play a pickup league night, you can just go to the park and ask anyone that's standing there by T-pad 1 if you can shoot with them, and 95% of the time they're going to say yes and be super accommodating to your needs and invite you over to other places or have you out for a beer, whatever it be after the round, and invite you back and exchange social media presences or phone numbers, whatever it be. But I'm going to say the community is by far the best part of the sport.
Cool. What advice would you give someone just getting started?
Stop throwing the destroyers and bosses that your friends give you. That's going to be what it's going to be. You hear me? Stop throwing the destroyers. What you want to do is throw as many discs as you can. I know that sounds a little bit unique. Disc golf has a very low cost of entry. Discs are super affordable. You can buy them from nearly anywhere, online with us, online anywhere else. Get them at your local store, whatever it be. Just try different options. I think too many people get in that habit of saying, well, my friend throws this and he's been playing for 20 years, so now I need to throw this. What we see are these discs that don't maximize the flight for the person, and they're not catering to their current ability. We can get so much more out of a disc that fits your throwing style than trying to force a disc that doesn't into your hand where it just dies out and, maybe only goes 250 feet. So try different options. If you're an amateur disc golfer and you're not sponsored by a certain manufacturer, throw all the brands. Try them all. It's super easy to do. Find friends that have other stuff. Throw stuff out of their bag if they'll let you. It makes things just so much easier. You learn so much faster that way.
Thankfully, I never fell into the destroyer trap. So
I did.
I had some buddies. I had a buddy that he kept me out of that destroyer trap. He said, "Don't even think about it," and so thankfully I never did. I sometimes still, you guys, if you're a follower of this channel and you found this, you know that Tim is on this channel too, and that's my son. I sometimes wanted to not strangle, but yell at the kid a little bit because he likes to throw those fast discs. I'm like, dude, you don't have the arm for it. Your dad, I know I'm your dad and I'm older, but I don't have the arm for him. So how do you think you got the arm for him? I'm like, come on, buddy. I mean, yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, I will say that I think one of the best discs that he picked up was the Vortex. You actually recommended a Vortex for him a while ago.
Absolutely.
I think he loves that disc. I think it might have finally got out of his bag because he's unfortunately trying to copy Dad and going like all MVP. So, that's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, dude, you don't need to be like Dad. You don't need to throw all MVP. But, so I think he's replaced that with something else. Although I think I might be able to talk him into putting the Vortex back in. the disc you were talking about,
Sure.
the Andrew Marweed. We will
Vortex,
both be
yeah,
getting one here in about a month, or not a month, in a couple weeks, because our doubles
yeah,
tournament, that is the Players Pack disc, and we're looking forward to that, so that would be cool. So,
yeah.
yeah.
That is a good way to get one. The Michigan Women's Series fundraiser that we host it every year. Great Lakes just matches the proceeds dollar for dollar. All that money goes right back to the Michigan Women's Series. We are giving away those Andrew Marweed vortexes at that event. So
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
a
cool.
good call out. Yeah, good
Yeah.
call.
I know, was last year the biggest turnout you guys have had?
It was by a pretty hefty margin and the most profitable that we had. We know that because we had to write the check back to them after we said we matched dollar for dollar. Raised just a touch under $7,000 for the
Wow,
girls. So,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
it's such a cool series. We sponsor it now in full. We're the presenting sponsor for the entire series, and we've enjoyed working with the ladies. It's so cool to see the gals out there having their own events. It's what the sport really needed, in my opinion. It's a good stepping stone for that. And to see 72 ladies go out and play all across the state on different weekends is just so much fun. It's a blast.
Yeah, and guys, gals, if you're out there listening, March 7th is the doubles tournament, Grand Rapids. Check it out. Get signed up. Go play. It's fun. I know Mother Nature's not cooperating. We're getting more snow. It sounds like you may have gotten more snow down there than we did. I'm an hour north of you guys. We've got maybe about an inch. Sounds like you guys may have gotten more down there.
We got a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe snowing, but you know what? It's for a good cause. Get out, have some fun. We got lucky enough last year. They have a raffle, or waffle. How technically, social media sometimes you can't say that R word, but you can say waffle. Um, we actually got lucky enough. Tim won an inner core. He's had it in his
Oh,
bag
cool.
since then. Except for there was a little meltdown incident when we tried to dye it, so we don't talk about that. But hey,
Nice.
it still flew okay. He loved it. It was his roller disc, and then for a joke, Dad had to buy him a pink Rolo for Christmas and say, "Here's a new Rolo disc for you." And it's in his bag. He hasn't used it yet, but we'll see. But that's fun. It's great. Get out, enjoy the fun, meet some new people. We had fun. We got to play with 6 guys we didn't know until that day. I've seen some of them since, and it's great to see them. You see them be like, "Hey, we played together at the tournament," and it's fun. It's a blast. Get out, do it. It's a great way to get the rust off, get going for the first part of the season. So, yeah, check it
Yeah,
out, guys.
you get to pick your partner and you get to pick your card mates for that event.
Yeah,
So it's super cool to play. Like you said, there was a waffle last year. There's going to be another one this year. I know that for a fact. I've seen a lot of the items. Great Lakes Dish just had a basket, a bag, probably, I don't know, 40, 45 discs, and a bag boy cart. The Great Lakes Disc exclusive blue one, all added to that through the women's series. So I know
ooh,
all those things will be there.
bag boy cart. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Especially that
Absolutely.
special edition one. That one's sharp. So if I
Absolutely.
didn't already own one, I would have bought the special edition. But if I would have done that, I probably would have been divorced. So
That's
yeah,
fair. Don't do
yeah,
that. You do
yeah.
not want to do that.
So getting back into this, what would you say to someone who feels stuck with their game?
Yeah, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be yips, if you will. You just have to work through it. Like we kind of talked about a little bit ago, identifying where that weak point is or that stress point is going to be key. And just kind of working through that element. Sometimes it's just a change of pace. Sometimes it's just getting a new disc. Sometimes it's playing with a new person. Sometimes it's playing a new course. Whatever it be, you just have to work through it. And changing kind of that atmosphere around you or changing that mindset may be very beneficial to that. I'm a big fan of if I'm throwing something really, really bad, I like to recognize it soon and maybe make that switch to a newer one or an older one or just a different disc in general. Maybe my scoring isn't working how I want it to. You just have to get out there and focus on the element that you're struggling with the most. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do field work. It's the best thing you can do for your game.
Perfect. Okay, favorite time of the show, rapid fire questions.
Oh boy,
Favorite course you've ever played?
Northwood Black,
Go to disc.
Detour,
Forehand or backhand?
backhand. I don't have a forehand. It's atrocious.
Favorite manufacturer?
I'm gonna say DGA. Even though I throw all MVP right now, I still throw 2 DGA pieces. Shout out to them for taking care of me when I was younger. Great brand.
There you go. Okay, one final question.
Okay.
What does disc golf mean to you right now in your life?
Yeah. Again, we kind of talked about this earlier in the show too. It's everything to me. I work in it professionally. I'm so blessed to have that job. I can't thank the community enough for sticking with Great Lakes Disc and everything that we kind of do. The leagues are a huge part of what we do. Obviously, it's how we raise our money to make sure the Grand Rapids area stays how it is. We're lucky to be I think we're in the top 20 right now for disc golf destination cities in the world. That's pretty cool to have and hang our hat on. And it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get better. And again, I'm just thankful for everybody.
Perfect. One last thing. Is there any tournaments you want to talk about? Any big things you got coming up this summer before we wrap it up?
Check us out on Disc Golf Scene. If you don't have a Disc Golf Scene profile, create one. UDisc as well. UDisc is a great application where we host all of our events. We have 30, 40 events coming up, from charity fundraisers to C tiers, B tiers, A tiers. We're hosting an A tier in Mishawaka, Indiana this year. That's the Mishawaka Meltdown. That's down by South Bend. That's coming up. It's April 4th and 5th. Don't quote me on those dates. You can look it up. It's early April. It's the first weekend of April. It's Easter weekend. I know that. And then later on in the year, we have our River City Open. That's our big A tier that we've ran here now. I believe this is year number 9 for it, possibly even 10. I'd have to go back and look. But the River City Open's our flagship event. We run it here through Grand Rapids. We incorporate a ton of West Michigan courses. The lineup for this year is crazy. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to make it happen. We always do. And then in 2027, we're going to be really, really blessed to have the Amateur State Championships for Michigan be hosted by us down here in GR for the first time in a really, really, really long time. So all these things that we're looking forward to, like I said, it's going to get bigger and better for Grand Rapids. It's going to be more exciting.
Well, James, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like the video and subscribe. And once again, thank you to Great Lakes Disc for supporting the channel. I'm David. This is Pure Rhodes Disc Golf. Till next time, keep throwing and have fun.